Welcome to the OnlyBets Sports Podcast here on your Wednesday with the great Brian Liberati. I am excited to get into the PGA, but first, let's look back at yesterday, how we did. Unfortunately, Tigers, Yankees, first three under 2.5 did not come through. 5 runs were scored in the first inning. I think that was pretty surprising to a lot of people, but it was a great game and a lot of fun. My heavy lean that I mentioned on the show, Phillies, cashed all the way, not even close. They won 8-0. Drew DeLucci, Kevin Gosman over 17.5 outs. I believe that cashed. Unfortunately, France and Sweden ended on 3 goals. Sweden could not hit the net. Looking at Princess picks yesterday in the WNBA, Aces, Liberty over 172.5, cashed. Basically swept free. If you use the boost like I did, it was basically even money or better. So, yeah, good day overall. Looking forward to seeing what we have today. Let's bring in our main man, Brian. Brian, how you doing today? Great picks last week, man. What a bounce back.
Mosh, good morning. Thank you. Yeah, it was like I said, I was very frustrated having my first losing week, so I was very happy to get back on the ball.
Yeah, and get back on the ball. I believe on show picks you went 5-2. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, well done, sir. Well done. I personally track everything in the PGA Tour app, which I highly recommend doing for yourselves. For all our listeners, easy way to track how your players are doing, and you can star your favorites for every single tournament. So it's a really nice, easy way. I'm able to put your picks in there, Mike McClure's picks, and Sia Najad's picks all in there as well, including some of my own sprinkles as I get more comfortable betting in the PGA. But Brian, what do we got for this weekend? What are we looking at? What's the tournament? What kind of golfers are going to be probably popular? Yeah, well, just give us a little bit of a breakdown.
Okay, Mosh, it's called the John Deere Classic, excuse me. It's at TPC Deere Run. It's a par 71 course. It's just under 7,300 yards, so it's not the longest course. I'd say it's about medium in distance. There's only 3 water holes, so there's not a big problem in that regards. Although if you miss the fairway, you're going to add about 0.4 shots to every hole. So there's a lot of rough trees off the fairway. So it's kind of like last week where you're looking more for accuracy off the tee than distance off the tee. The greens, they average about 5,500 square feet, which is small on the PGA Tour. So that they're not big targets overall. So you want somebody who's really good with their irons also. Kind of like last week also in that regards. Putting is very important. These are probably as smooth or maybe the smoothest greens on tour. They putt beautifully. The ball doesn't bounce, nothing like that. So if they get the ball on target, the ball's going to go in. So you're looking for people that are good putters or maybe are hot on putting. I would say the winning score, if the weather's good, should probably be about 20 to 24 under, somewhere in that area. Now, when you're talking motion about at the beginning, that's why I'm looking for more shorter hitters are not a bad play this week. Again, accuracy off the tee, good iron player. Though, I mean, to me, those would be the 2 keys to this. Now, do you want me to talk about who I like this week?
Yeah, that's a good segue to go in. We're looking for good putters, accurate off the tee. Yeah, who do we got?
Okay, now when I put some of this stuff out, it's not that I play all these plays. I hope people know this. And I think I said this before. I just put some thoughts out more than anything. Um Winner this week, I'm kind of looking at a couple guys with really high odds. People are probably going to go, "What?" I mean, sure, it's easy to go for Ben Griffin or Chris Goddard. They're about 14 to 15 to 1. But I like Tom Kim this week at plus 3,500. He's been playing really well lately. He finished third in the US Open. And about 4 or 5 weeks ago, he finished sixth at the Myrtle Beach Classic. And the golf course, it matches up very similar analytically to the TPC course this week. So I got a feeling Tom's going to play real well. He's putting better than he has all year. The other guy, again, most of you are not going to know this name. His name is Jackson Suber, Suber. He's at plus 5,600. He's finished fourth in 4 of his last 4 tournaments. He last week he was doing real well until the last round and finished 30th. But after 3 rounds last week, he was in the top 10. So he's been really playing better and better. And I should say this too, Moshe. This is a much weaker field this week. I would almost call this a glorified Corn Ferry tournament because most of the big names are not here. I think Ben Griffin and Chris Goddard are the 2 highest rated players in the field. Now, I've got a top 10, and again, most people are going to go, who's this? I like Carson Young at plus 1025. I mean, 10-1 at top 10 is unheard of price-wise. He's finished tied 5th the last 2 years in this tournament. He's playing mainly the Corn Ferry this year because he lost his PGA card. But in his last 4 events, he's finished top 15 or better. So I think he's really sneaky this week. I mean, I almost was going to pick him to win. Now, these are kind of a couple unofficial plays. I'd like to play around at times. I like a top 30 parlay and his top 30 in ties, like I've mentioned in the past. Tom Kim and Jackson Suber at plus 299. I really feel they're both going to play well this week. I really do. I mean, if they make the cut, I can't believe they're not going to make the top 30. And then also, too, I have, again, just kind of a fun top 40 and ties parlay. I have Denny McCarthy with Carson Young. Now, Denny McCarthy finished 5th last week, tied 5th, played really well. And in this tournament, the last 6 years, he's finished tied 15th or better. So he likes this golf course. It fits him well. He's one of the best putters on tour, and these greens really are perfect for a good putter. And then also, too, I have 2 round matchups for tomorrow, for Thursday's round. And again, these are round matchups, not 2 balls matchups. So there's a difference. One is Doug Ghim, Ghim, over Pearson Coody at minus 108. Cootie's the favorite in this matchup, but he hasn't played well at this course. Gim's played really well at this course. So I like Gim to take this. And I also like Tom Kim over Sunjay Im at minus 122. Again, I've talked about Tom Kim, but Sunjay has played horrible this year. He's driving the ball beautifully, putting well, but his approach or iron play has been terrible. He's lost strokes the last 12 tournaments, iron play. And in the past, that was one of his strengths. So I have a feeling Kim's going to take this one quite easily this week. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for this week.
Yeah, you are actually hand in hand with our main man, Sia Najad. He also loves Tom Kim. He has a Tom Kim over Ricky Fowler as his favorite bet. So I'm just assuming it's a different book. And he also likes Suber a lot. He is in the top 20 and to win a little bit. So yeah, I'm definitely on board. Happy to sprinkle even a little bit more than I already did in all these positions. I think this is a really sharp way to play. And by the way, shout out to Akshay Bhatia. I mentioned him on like kind of a whim. I know he didn't have great course history, but he ended up doing pretty well last week, which was kind of fun for me to watch. Not that I won anything off of it.
He played fabulous last week.
Yes, he did. Is there anybody else in the field for this weekend that maybe could be considered a little bit of a long shot that you're looking at? Not necessarily betting on, and definitely send me the best bets that you just mentioned so that I can get them out on our recap screen. But is there anybody else who maybe is being so overlooked? I know this is a less known tournament, so there's a lot of people that we don't necessarily recognize playing, but anybody at like crazy kind of odds that you're looking at?
Well, I mean, Suber is definitely crazy, I think, at 56-1. And I think Tom Kim is too at 35-1. I will bring somebody up in a minute, Most, but there was somebody else I did just want to quickly talk about. And now some of you guys, again, might not know this guy's name. His name is Jackson Koivun, Koivun. This is his first tournament as a professional. He went to Auburn University. He won 2 years in a row, all three of the top awards, which nobody's ever done. Last year, he played in 6 PGA events. He finished tied 11th or better. So I really wasn't sure how to play him this week, because sometimes guys on their first week, now that they're a professional, they don't do real well, excuse me. But I think down the road, this kid is going to be amazing. I mean, he's 21 years old, but he's got all the game. Drives it well, putts beautifully, great iron play. I mean, just crazy good. You know, one person, okay, and I mentioned him in top 40, Moshe, could be Denny McCarthy. He's at 62 to 1.
All right. Yeah, I can dig it. And by the way, I understand a lot of the hype around Koiven. I don't understand the price of plus 2,700 to win it all. How is he tied for 4th in the odds to win this tournament on his first tour back? Who was it last year? Really good guy, skinny little guy. He came off as an amateur. He was doing incredibly well, but you know what? It's different when you're playing professionally. It's a lot more pressure, right? You're generally dealing with a higher level of talent where you're not just riding with the dog money, like, oh, nobody expects me to win, so therefore I can just shoot with no pressure. Now is like the time where you have to show up, and it's really hard for these young guys with, I'm assuming, the media attention, the commercials, the fans, the excitement, the whole changing of a career, really, to really do well in his first time out. But hey, seeing Najad's on him, so like I can't say anything bad necessarily. It's just shocking to me that the odds are that low.
Could you have been talking about Luke Clanton?
Yes, Luke Clanton last year.
Yeah,
That's
that's what I
exactly who I
thought.
was talking
Now,
about.
he
Yeah.
he had a great amateur record, but he hasn't done that well as a professional. And another one really is Michael Thorbjornsen. He played really well here 2 years ago. I think he finished 5th. But now that he's professional, he's been very spotty. So I agree with you totally. For me, I don't know why, but I think Koiven's different than these other guys. He has something different. I just when I hear him talk, he's not cocky, but he's very confident. Just the way he presents himself. But again, it might take him some time now that he's a professional.
You know who that kind of reminds me of? Tom Kim, in a way. Incredible, right? Incredible. Had an amazing junior rookie year, and then struggled a little bit his second year out last year. But now in his third year, it seems to like he's really kind of getting it together and putting in some top finishes, and really looks like he's in good form. But remember, Tom Kim struggled for a while there. I think if I'm understanding it correctly, it was really due to the juggling of responsibilities and the such intense scrutiny that you're under once you are a professional. And if you don't do well one week, it can kind of cascade into multiple weeks really easily, right?
Absolutely. And in fact, Kim had 3 wins before he was 22 years old on tour. And I really think, like you said, things change for these young guys if they're successful right away. I almost feel like they don't work as hard at it. That they almost feel like I got it now. And
Almost
like you
like it's
said,
not their sole focus anymore,
great
right?
point. Great point. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's interesting, but you know what? We're going to be interested. I did bet on him. Now I'm betting on him twice, so I'm interested to see where he ends up. And yeah, I think this is going to be a really fun tournament. These smaller tournaments, you tend to find value in the people when there's not enough public figures that the betting public really kind of gets on. Any of these like old timers, I wouldn't say old timers, but like Ben Griffin, Keith Mitchell, Keegan Bradley, or you have a few people here, Eric Cole, who's been in and around a while. Any expectations from those kind of guys, or are we really just shooting on the new young guns?
Great question, Moshe. I mean, I certainly expect like Bradley, Mitchell, Griffin to play well. I really do. Cole, I'm not quite sure. He's played well, but he's a terrible driver. And the last couple weeks, he played great for 2, 3 rounds and then just lost it. I don't trust him enough overall. Like I said, Griffin or Bradley could easily win this one. But this, you look at this tournament over the years, there's not a lot of huge names that have won this overall. I mean, you could look at some of these names, and a lot of these guys, a lot of people would not know who they are.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I've been following golf for a number of years now, and even for me, there's a lot of unfamiliar names out there. All right. Any other advice that we should look into, maybe for some live betting looks or whatever, or maybe some tendencies on the golf course itself once the tournament gets started, to see if these guys are going to go low or not? Anything else that you can add to kind of color our experience for this weekend before we move on to Drew and the MLB?
Sure, Mosh. The only thing I would say too quickly is like with those winners I was talking about. Heck, all you have to do is put $5 down on these guys, because if they win, you're going to get a huge payout. So I never put a lot of money down on the winners. Like the other ones, like the top 20s and 10s like that, I might put a quarter unit or so on. Fun was funny. I've never live bet golf. I never have. But what I've done a decent amount lately is I wait until after the second round or after Friday's round, and sometimes I'll put a couple bets in on top 20s, and you can still get some good value. I mean, I've gotten a decent amount of plus 250 to plus 300 value going into Saturday's round for top 20. So for me, that's kind of more what I look at as the tournament goes on.
Yeah, and I think that's a really smart way to go about it. I've hit a number of top golfers, people who, like Scotty Scheffler in the top 20 market after like a bad first round or even a bad couple holes. And I think I got him actually at minus 150 in the top 20 market last week, and he should have won that tournament. That was disappointing for me. Although congratulations, Hovland. He definitely deserved it. He had one of the best back nines. I mean, that was just an incredible performance.
Oh, he was fabulous. And it was funny. If they hadn't had that rain delay, I don't think he would have won on
Yeah,
Sunday.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
he was
Scheffler was on a
he was
roll.
struggling. But I had a lot of my friends ask me Sunday night before the playoff, Scotty's going to win? I go, I'd bet on Victor. And I forgot. I should have put it into our thing on your only bets. But I like Victor. The reason is the way he came back Sunday, birdie 3 in a row. I thought he would win on Monday. I really did.
Yeah. Well done, sir. Well done. It looks like we lost Drew. I hope it wasn't a connection issue. But if there's any last thoughts on golf, oh, there he is. If there's any last thoughts on golf, here it is, and then we'll get back to you at the end of the show if you're nice enough to stay on.
I will stay on, I promise.
Fantastic. There's the stern snort. Drew, welcome in. How you doing, buddy? Recapped 1-1 your bets yesterday. Good call in baseball. Gosman definitely got it done, right?
Gosman got it done for sure. He pitched well. It was kind of like a pitcher's duel. I think the game was like 3-0. So yeah, it was overall. Did have a fun incident. I think it was the other day, or it might have been yesterday, with Wilson Contreras and Cade Cavalli. So fun day in baseball.
It was a fun day in baseball, even though I lost my bet. Although on my premium channel, I did go 4-3 with plenty of even or plus money. So I enjoyed, the games overall. Let's get into today. Drew, where are you going first on the slate?
Yeah. So first game I was looking at, we have, of course, an amazing pitching matchup between the Phillies and Pirates. We have Zach Wheeler versus Paul Skeens. Zach Wheeler, who I still think, I know it's crazy to say it, but still one of the most underrated pitchers in the MLB. Since he's back from injury, he's been absolutely dominant. But I was looking at the over 17.5 outs for him. It didn't look like didn't like that value for me on that front. But I wanted to know first, did you have any takes on that game before I skip over that game?
Yes, I do. I'm going to go back to the well here. I know it didn't cash yesterday, but I still think the value is there despite the heat dome, which if you're not sure what a heat dome is, it happens once, two, maybe three times in the MLB season where the heat and the humidity get trapped in a self fulfilling, I'm not really sure exact word, but essentially it can't escape without the rainfall. And if you have multiple days of high heat and a lot of humidity with no rainfall, there's nothing to break that dome, and it just keeps getting hotter. So when the ball gets hit, it goes flying. I am all over overs today, except for this game, Pirates, Phillies. You have Paul Skeens, and it's Paul Skeens Day for a reason. I know it's not his best season, but opponents are still hitting 204 first time around the order. He still has a 6% barrel rate to a 36.5% hard hit rate. His strikeout to walk numbers are elite. 30.5% strikeout rate to a 5.5% walk rate. I don't care. I'm going to be betting on Paul Skeens basically every time he is out. And then on the other hand, you have Zach Wheeler, 6.9% barrel rate, 35.5% hard hit rate, 26% strikeout rate, and a 6.5% walk rate. These guys are incredible, and I will bet on incredible talent every single day. Opponents are hitting Wheeler first time around the order 176. I have no problem betting the under 2.5, despite the fact that both of these teams are pretty hot. Both of these teams could come out and score 1 or 2 runs in the first, but I am betting that over the course of the first 3 innings that there will be less than 3 runs. I got this at minus 132 over on FanDuel. Definitely check your prices, as the lines may have moved better or worse. I'm not really sure, but definitely check your lines on Pickett or Juice Reel. Yeah, that's my play, Drew. How do you feel about that one?
Oh, I like that play a lot. I agree with you. It's one of those things where, hey, it's still only Paul Skeens, technically second year. At the end of the day, like, and it's just we put this guy on a pedestal, like he should be already like Zach Wheeler kind of status in a way, but this guy's still young and talented, and the fact that he still has a pretty dang good ERA still, and also the fact I think he has one of the worst like luck factor in the MLB.
Yeah, I think Drew. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, he's in like situations where balls going to play when they shouldn't go into play.
Yeah, and that's kind of what the underlying metrics reflect. They reflect that he is pitching much better than his actual statistics suggest. 100% agree. And by the way, a lot of these are jumping on the first pitch, kind of just surprising Skeens, not letting him get deep into the counts. The more times people see him, especially early first, second time around the order, this man is a menace. He really is. I very much considered the first 5 under 4.5, but it was similar juice, and I just want to keep it to the first 3. But yeah, I think that this man rolls today. I also have a heavy lean on the Pirates. You can get plus 1.5 at minus 160, which I think offered some really good value as well. And that's one of my premium plays today. So yeah, a lot of ways to play this. Drew, where are you going for your pitcher prop for the day?
Yeah, this is one of my favorites today, and I'm happy the line is like this. But I like Andrew Abbott under 6.5. The last 3 games, he hasn't covered this. He hasn't given up a terrible amount of runs, but his underlying metrics aren't great. It's not facing, as we know, the Brewers are extremely hot offense, and they're playing at the Brewers. I believe the Brewers Stadium's. I believe it is a dome, but there still is some humidity that can like leak through. But I will say it is 92 degrees in Milwaukee, even though they probably will close. But if they leave it open, 92 degrees with 50 miles per hour going to the left, it's going to hurt Abbott. And overall, Abbott's kind of hard person to trust, especially against a Brewers team that is firing all cylinders like last year.
I don't disagree at all, especially for comparing these two pitchers. I think Andrew Abbott is on the wrong side of things. I did heavily consider the Brewers' first 5 money line, but it was juiced to minus 140. Still like it, and I still played it, especially after Matty Ice, who hopefully will be on our show sooner or later, picked them. He actually took them on the run line in the first 5 innings, so no push insurance, but I definitely think that the Brewers are the better team here. The Reds have been struggling offensively in the last few weeks after a really hot June, I think. So yeah, definitely on the Brewer side here. I think they get it done. I don't even mind a team total over if you want to go that route. I'm actually going to put a little bit extra than I normally do on the Abbott under 16.5 outs at -120 over on DK.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun day. When you're looking at these games and you're watching the games live, look to see how the pitchers are gripping the baseball, and if they're really hitting the rosin bag a lot, try to see if they're having trouble controlling the ball. If they are having trouble controlling the ball, bet overs right away. Most of the teams in the league right now, the bullpens are exhausted. They have been going on longer than they would have liked. Not a lot of starting pitchers going over on their outs lately, and I think that problem can exasperate today. Just a thought. Maybe hang around Twitter and I'll put out a live play or two if I find the time. I am currently moving my mom, so I am a little bit short on time overall, but I'm definitely going to be looking out to play some stuff live tonight. All right, Drew, any last thoughts in the MLB?
No last thoughts on my side.
All right. If you can come up with a question of the day, nice and easy, so we can get to that in a second. We don't really have Prince today. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here. But if you want his plays on the day, definitely go check out yesterday's podcast. He very nicely gets these bets out a day in advance, and I very much appreciate it. Looking at the games today, England, Congo, DR just went off now. I kind of lean under. I'm going to wait for a live goal to bet the under. Belgium, Senegal is a very interesting game, but the USA, Bosnia, that's the game everybody kind of wants to talk about here. There is a boost for the USA first half money line at +133. That makes me awfully suspicious, especially since USA has scored the last three games in the first half. I don't really know what to think here. I kind of lean both teams to score personally. If I can get an over 1.5 or over 2.5 live, that's the kind of the angle that I'm looking to play here. I did play the United States up early promo on MGM, where every single goal gives you $5 free bet, I believe. I don't want to kind of mess around with I don't want to get tricky. I think United States wins, or at least is competitive enough where I'm going to be able to hedge live, and that's kind of where I was thinking. But Drew, any thoughts in World Cup today?
Yeah, but yeah, I think USA don't want to overthink it. Of course, when it's ever a country that you're rooting for, or your favorite team, you always sometimes get criticism, and you think, well, like, oh, what if this happens? But yeah, USA is the answer in that regard. When it comes to me, I'm going to take the 60-minute money line here. It's much better value than to advance, but give me Belgium three-way money line at +110 over Senegal. I know Senegal has been pretty impressive, and they just squeaked in the knockout stage after beating Iraq like 5-0 in that regards. But I feel like Belgium found their niche after they did win like 5-1. The most recent one, I think Germany is the better team. Senegal has been a really good story, of course, but I think +110 for a 6-minute money line to me, I think is personally the better team is good value.
Yeah, and I don't mind hedging also on the both teams to score just in case. I think that's how I would do it. I would do maybe a full unit on Belgium in line with your play, and then a half unit on both teams to score. Wonder what that price is actually, but I do see Belgium maybe as the favorite in this game. It's just hard. These games are so hard. I think we see the under. I think that actually might be Prince's play, the under in the first half. As we expect, as a tighter kind of games than we've been seeing that in the second round, the knockout rounds. All right, fact of the day or question of the day. What do you got?
I was thinking of a question of the day currently. Just give me 1 sec.
Yeah, no problem. We can filibust just a little bit. And yeah, I'm excited for these games today. Both teams to score, by the way, is minus 139 over on Caesars for the Senegal Belgium game. I'm gonna go play that just a little bit of a sprinkle to hedge my bet on the Belgium to win. Just I don't know. They looked really shaky before last game. Yeah, they got it together, but I feel like the momentum kind of drew them into the win. And then they just overpowered. Once they found their route to victory, they just kind of kept attacking it. Brian, any thoughts of World Cup? Have you been delving in a little bit?
You know what? Truthfully, I don't know a lot about it, so I can't give out any information.
Fair enough. That's an honest answer. All right, Drew, you're up.
Yeah, I actually have a really cool fact that I was able to snatch up. How many World Cup finals have gone to penalties? There's been three. 2022, Argentina versus France, which we saw, the last World Cup. 2006, Italy versus France, the famous Zinedine Zidane headbutt that gave him a red card. And then 1994, Brazil versus Italy. So Italy was two. So there's been three World Cup finals that have gone to penalties. I think that's pretty cool.
That's kind of crazy that they were all also within the last 30 years. Not a single one before that.
And France did it with them without their best player for quite a bit of the game too.
Got a question of the day, Drew, for us?
Yeah, I will say. Oh, actually, I have one. I think this is a question because I know we both like history. If you could travel back in time to one sporting event that you weren't able to see, of course, during your lifetime because you weren't alive for it, well,
for me, that would be. Sorry, Drew, you're breaking in and out. But if I heard your question correctly, what sporting event in history would you like to be a part of and or see or watch as a fan, right?
Yeah, so and you can't count when you were alive, like one where you weren't alive for, where we were only like 1, 2, or 3, something like
that. Sure. For me, it has to be Babe Ruth's called shot. I mean, that story is the one that I grew up on. The majesty of it, the end of the career, the talent, the last chance to see possibly the greatest player of all time. That's kind of where I would have loved to watch that. Yeah. Brian, any answer to this question? No pressure.
Truthfully, I would have loved to seen back when Ben Hogan had just come back from his car accident and then he won like 2 majors. So I guess I can't pick one tournament, but just to see this guy that wasn't supposed to live or walk again win again on tour.
Yeah, that would have been unbelievable. I could just imagine being there in the crowd. That's power. That's just jaw-dropping stuff. How about you, Drew? It looks like Drew may have dropped. I don't know if the connection was bad, but I will get him to answer that tomorrow unless he is here back. Drew, what's your answer to the question? Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I would say for me, just because like growing up in the Bay Area, and then I know some of my family, like my dad and my uncle and stuff, got to go there. But I would say the catch from Dwight Clark, Joe Montana against the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC Championship game. I think it was 1981 or 83. I would have loved to be there. I would love just to watch Joe Montana in general. The Bay Area over here, they consider him basically like a sport god, and stuff like that. And just to be able to watch the catch there over the Cowboys player, that would have been really cool to watch.
When you said the catch in San Francisco, I thought you were gonna. I mean, to be fair, I guess it was the Pirates, but I thought you were gonna go with Willie Mays.
Oh yeah, that was another one when he made the catch against the Pirates in the I think 1954 World Series, or the shot heard around the world was another one I was thinking about against the Giants win the pennant, Giants win the pennant. That one, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. Also, a lot of good movies about these time periods. I just watched 42 about Jackie Robinson. That was a really good one. All right, Brian, any last thoughts before we move on to recapping our best bets?
No, I'm all good. Thank you.
Drew, any last thoughts?
No last thoughts. Just join this World Cup, especially since it's a round of 32, not a round of 6 anymore. So that's really cool. I like these multiple games now, like more teams.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of fun, and I like the all-day action. All right, Drew, let's recap your best bets.
Yes, definitely. I have Andrew Abbott under 6.5 outs at -120, and then Belgium great way money line at +110.
Very much looking forward to those two games. Brian, what do you got for the weekend, I should say?
Okay, a couple winners I'm looking at. Tom Kim at +3,500, Jackson Suber at +5,600. I like a top 10 Carson Young at +1025. And I have just a couple fun plays. I've got top 30 and ties parlay, Tom Kim and Jackson Suber at +299. And then also a top 40 and ties parlay, Denny McCarthy, Carson Young +354. And then I have 2 round matchups for tomorrow or for Thursday. Doug Gim over Pearson Cootie -108, and Tom Kim over Sunjay M at -122.
Phenomenal. And you can find both of those on DK, I believe. I am on the Pirates, Phillies, first 3 under 2.5 at -132. We got Skeens and Wheeler, 2 aces. I'm excited to see. This is going to be a fantastic day in the world of sports. Looking forward to seeing golf start tomorrow morning. Yeah, that's going to do it for our show. Thank you guys so much for listening. We're going to keep on rocking, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.